The handoff to Rasheed. Harrell breaks it. He's going to score. Nobody's going to catch Rasheed Harrell. And fires on the out route. Kepley's got it. Turns upfield. His tightrope to the sideline. Touchdown. First turnover of the ball game goes to Southeastern.
Then it's straight drop. Looks at Smiley's got him this time. And touchdown, Southeastern Louisiana, 65 yards.
Hello there, and welcome to this episode of Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts, presented by Chick-fil-A of Hammond and also Hammond Square. As every week, Coach, we're going to be at a different restaurant inside Hammond Square. This week we're at Santa Fe Cattle Company. I want to thank Hammond Square and also Sterling Properties for what they do for your show. But Coach, welcome to the show here. It's 2014. I can't believe it's already football season. It seems like we just finished up, but a lot has taken place between the quarterfinal game last year against New Hampshire and getting ready for this Saturday against Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's an exciting year. I think everybody's excited. The community's excited. I'm looking forward to 2014. We've had a great off season. Our kids have worked extremely hard to get to this point, and we're looking forward to getting on that field and represent Lion Nation.
Coach, I think back to a couple of years ago when you got the job here at Southeastern, and just where we are now in terms of popularity of Southeastern football. It's just unbelievable the amount of anticipation and excitement, the way it has grown over the last couple of years. I know that's something you're very proud of.
Yeah, I think our guys have done a great job, players, of establishing the momentum for our program, again, going out in our community, representing our program. And I'm just excited the way, we knew that this was probably going to happen, that our people here were starving for winter and looking forward to it, and our community's done an outstanding job.
Well, Coach, now I guess the question is, the first couple of years you were here in Hammond, it was, hey, we want to see improvement. Then last year, hey, what if we can make it to the playoffs? Did all that. Now the anticipation level, the expectation level is a lot different than it was the last couple of years. Now it's playoffs or bust for your club. I mean, how does your team handle that?
Well, I think we have continued a great work ethic and how we go about our business in the off season and prepare and that. And if more so than anything, I think our focus has been a little better this year than it has in the past. I think it's not hard to get them to buy in. They're bought in. So our guys have done a great job preparing themselves. And that's all you can do. You prepare great and take care of your business, and good things are going to happen. It's
going to be an outstanding season in 2014 for Lion football. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to introduce you to the team and also look at the 2014 schedule right here on Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts, presented by Chick-fil-A of Hammond.
Introducing our new grilled chicken nuggets. Hungry for more? Go to grilledlove.com.
Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Ron Roberts is supported by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction, located in Southeastern's hometown of Hammond, Louisiana. Louisiana's First Choice Auto Auction is a dealer-only auto auction locally owned by John Poteet. For more information on Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction or their upcoming charity golf tournament, please visit www.lafcaa.com or visit Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction on Facebook and Twitter.
Your eyesight is so important, and when it comes to your eye care, let the friendly staff at the Bond Roten Eye Clinic care for you. Doctors Hunter Bond and Chris Roten, along with their staff of trained doctors, are committed to providing every patient with quality care. The Bond Roten Eye Clinic has the latest medical technology and eye care to help you, the patient. With over 14 years of experience, the Bond Roten Eye Clinic has 3 locations to serve you, with offices in Denham Springs, Hammond, and Amite. So if it's a checkup, glasses, or LASIK surgery, you need to visit the Bond Roten Eye Clinic. For more information on the clinic, please visit bondroteneyeclinic.com. If it's great food and casual dining you crave, then try the Santa Fe Cattle Company. Santa Fe Cattle has become one of the nation's fastest growing restaurants. With over 14 years of cooking great food, Santa Fe provides customers with a unique blend of perfectly aged USDA choice steaks, ribs, fajitas, all made fresh daily from scratch and served in a comfortable casual atmosphere. With over 30 entrees on the menu to choose from, there is something at Santa Fe Cattle Company for everyone. So come out and capture the authentic flavors of the Southwest delivered right to your table. We guarantee you'll love your Santa Fe experience. To find the nearest location, please visit SantaFeCattle.com. Santa Fe Cattle Company, real, fresh, fun. Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts, presented by Chick-fil-A of Hammond, as we tape right here from Santa Fe Cattle Company as part of the Hammond Square Mall and all of their restaurants here in Hammond. I want to thank Sterling Properties as well. It's going to be an exciting year here in 2014, a lot of expectations. Let's introduce the 2014 Lions. The defending Southland Conference champs head into the 2014 season looking once again to try and exceed some lofty goals. Not only are the Lions overwhelming favorites to repeat as Southland Conference champs, but several national publications consider Southeastern a legitimate national title contender. Head coach Ron Roberts, the reigning Southland Conference, Louisiana, and AFCA Region 5 Coach of the Year, knows his team is up for the challenge, especially after last year's playoff experience.
It was great. If anything, it gave us a confidence factor because, again, he hadn't been there. To getting in the postseason play, that's experience. To winning a conference title, again, the experience of those things you can't get back.
Coach Roberts has plenty of reasons to be confident. One of those reasons is quarterback Brian Bennett is back. Bennett, the reigning Southland Conference Player of the Year, Louisiana Offensive Player of the Year, and Louisiana Newcomer of the Year, leads a balanced, high-powered offense. In Bennett's first season with the Lions, the junior threw for 3,165 yards and 21 touchdowns, while also rushing for a team-high 1,046 yards and a single-season school record 16 touchdowns.
We need to just do what we need to do to better ourselves as a team, as individuals, and try and be the best football team and the best football players that we can be.
There's plenty of depth at quarterback as junior Jordan Barnett returns. Barnett saw action in 8 games and led the Lions to a 34-31 road win over Sanford in late September. Sophomore Deshae Lander transferred in from UL Lafayette, where the Turlings Catholic product saw action in 3 games last year. In 2013, Southeastern's success on offense was thanks in large part to their success on the ground. In addition to the damage Bennett did with his legs, the Lions featured a quartet of running backs in Rasheed Harrell, Darius Guy, Cody Sutton, and Xavier Roberson. All total, the Lions rushed for 3,200 yards and 42 touchdowns.
We really got 4. We had 4 running backs all back, but we moved Xavier out to receiver just because we got to get him on the field.
John Andrews and Amade High School product Jawan Rogers will both see time at fullback. This year, Roberson will be moved to the slot receiver spot. So with the healthy stable of backs, Roberson will see more time on the field as opposed to splitting time with the other backs. Quarterback Brian Bennett didn't throw for 3,100 yards all alone. Someone has to catch the ball as well, as back this year is Jeff Smiley. Smiley caught 57 passes last season for 744 yards and 6 touchdowns. The All-Conference junior enters the season as a starter, along with seniors Isaiah Kepley and Devontae Scott, along with the above-mentioned Xavier Roberson. Seniors Marquise Hayes, Chris Malott, Kendrick Peoples, and Blaine Arnold are all back for another go-around with the Lions. At tight end, Taylor Jenkins returns for his junior season and Jeremy Myers returns for his senior season. Both tight ends complement each other very well. You can have all the playmakers in the world, but if you don't have a solid group of men up front, your offense will go nowhere quickly. A total of 4 Lion offensive linemen earned all Southland honors last year. 2 of those all-conference linemen returned for 2014 to lead an experienced offensive line group. Junior Joe Graves expected to make the transition to center. Graves saw action starting all 14 games last year. Returning starter DJ Williams will be back at right guard with junior Josue Miranda, the odds-on favorite to anchor the left guard spot. Sophomore Taylor Romero and junior Lawrence Ramsey both return to provide depth at the guard position. All-Southland right tackle Jonathan Braddock returns for his senior season, while junior Aaron Reed, a transfer from Southern Miss, is expected to step in at left tackle. Byron Smith and Brett Wagner will also provide depth at the tackle position. Offense is responsible for putting points on the board, and defense's job is to keep points off the board. Up front, the defensive line is led by senior Jacob Newman. Newman earned second-team All-Southland Conference and All-Louisiana in his first season as a Lion. The Visalia, California native ranked among the league leaders with 7 sacks and 14 tackles for loss in 2013. Newman, along with junior A.J. Bowen, are expected to flank senior nose tackle Markel Combs to provide the Lions with a big push up front. Sophomores Taylor Cochran and Javari Nichols will be among those providing depth up front. When the Southland Conference coaches voted for the preseason All-Southland Conference team, 4 Lion linebackers earned a spot, showcasing Southeastern's talent at the position. Belglade, Florida native Isaiah Corbett, Justin Church, Drew Masita, and Caleb Muse all made their way onto the All-Conference team.
You know, our coaches always tell us, don't get caught up in those things, take it one day at a time and just outwork everybody else.
Corbett led the league with 16 tackles for loss in 2013 to go along with his 7 sacks. Isaiah finished the season with 58 tackles, 22 of those being solo. Amite native Drew Macedo was third on the team with 78 tackles. Ponchatoula native Caleb Muse returns for his senior season after having missed 7 games last year with injury. Muse finished the season with 20 tackles and 1 sack. Justin Church recorded 33 tackles along with his 5 sacks and 2 fumble recoveries. Many teams will try and throw the ball on the Lions this year, but few will succeed with the group of defensive backs the Lions have. The All-Southland trio of Kentwood native Harlan Miller, senior Mo Sutton, along with senior Tyler Stoddard, will try to shut teams down through the air. Miller saw action in all 14 games last year, recording 45 tackles while picking off 4 passes. Sutton also saw action in all 14 games, recording 14 tackles while also picking off 4 passes, including 2 against Stephen F. Austin last year, which he took back to the house. Sutton also had a pick 6 against Incarnate Word. Stoddard recorded 54 tackles during the 2013 season and had 1 interception. The Westlake, Louisiana native recorded 8 tackles with 1 for a loss in the NCAA quarterfinal game against New Hampshire. Coach, taking a look at that story right there, I think a lot of our fans will realize, hey, there's a lot of key returners from a year ago and also some high-profile transfers that came in. A very quality depth chart for your club this year.
Yeah, we have over 50 lettermen returning on this ball club. I think that what it has done is allow us off-season to go pretty smoothly. It's allowed for fall camp to go pretty smoothly. Allowed for installation in fall camp to go a little faster. Things have gone smooth. Now it's time to really just look forward to getting on that field and showing them what we got.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the Lions' off-season workout training and also the 2014 schedule right here on Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts, presented by Chick-fil-A of Hammond.
Moving forward is very important that everyone here understands the severity of this.
Now 1 Charlie, 7 November, Roger, thank you.
Introducing our new grilled chicken nuggets. Hungry for more? Go to grilledlove.com.
Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Ron Roberts is supported by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction, located in Southeastern's hometown of Hammond, Louisiana. Louisiana's First Choice Auto Auction is a dealer-only auto auction locally owned by John Poteet. For more information on Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction or their upcoming charity golf tournament, please visit www.lafcaa.com or visit Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts, presented by Chick-fil-A of Hammond and also Santa Fe Cattle Company, as we come to you here from Santa Fe at the Hammond Square. As any championship team, the games are not necessarily won on Saturday, but in the off-season and in-season strength and conditioning program. Let's take a look at the Lions' work. Football games aren't won on Saturdays in the fall. Games are won during fall practice or in meeting rooms and during the spring, but mostly in the weight room all year round. That's where Coach Brandon Howard comes in. Coach Howard is beginning his 3rd season heading up the Southeastern Strength and Conditioning Program, and finally, Howard is bringing some stability to the program.
A huge difference when you have some continuity and you have some stability in a position, especially in a position like mine where these kids spend the majority of their time with me.
On this day, Howard is putting the skilled players through the paces in the Knockan Strength and Conditioning Center, and it's clear for the moment. The guys hit the door who is in charge. You see, Howard doesn't put up with any nonsense. If you were in the office, you were there to work.
We do everything with a tempo. That's something that Coach emphasizes, and that's what he wants us to emphasize not only on the field and practice, but in the weight room as well.
It's been a banner year for Coach Howard and the football team. For starters, over 50 Lions have squatted over 500 pounds, and 9 guys on the team squatted over 600 pounds. New records for Southeastern.
We had a tremendous offseason. The guys really came to work every day. I can't say enough about our kids. Our kids come in every day, they put in the work. There's never a complaint, there's never an issue. They just come in and they know what they're working for too.
For the first half of a weight session, the players throw around some serious weight. But Howard knows there is more to it than building muscles. Howard helps them with the recovery and mental approach to the game.
primarily emphasizes joint alignment, and it's about putting the body back into proper alignment, especially as a football player with the amount of contact and things that these guys take on a daily basis. It's about realigning the joints, realigning the shoulders, the hips, the knees, the ankles. But it's also great for their mobility.
The Lions will continue their fall camp workout process as they lead up to their first game. But just because the season starts does not mean the Lions abandon the weight room. They will see Coach Howard every day at practice and at least 3 times a week as they lift.
He doesn't let us get lackadaisical and he keeps us in shape. Everything he always gives us a reason behind things we do. He shows us why, shows us how to do it. He has to make sure everything we do is spot on.
He brings so much energy. He just keeps us energized, focused, and wanting to work. You know, he brings enthusiasm, and when we're lifting, he's right behind us, amping us up.
While the buzz around town with fans is talking about an undefeated season and winning a national title, Howard does not want to hear any of that talk. For now, he is focused on getting his young men ready to face Jacksonville on August the 30th. Once they clear that hurdle, then it will be on to Southern Utah, and so on and so on.
My primary concern is being able to put the best product on the field. You know, all the hype and all that is great. It's great for the community. It's great for the university, and the kids, enjoy having those expectations. But it's living up to the expectations.
Coach, obviously a great job by your club in the offseason. It's pretty mind-boggling numbers if you look at it. 53 Lions squat over 500 pounds and 9 over 600 pounds. Tremendous strength gains over the last couple of years.
Yeah, we kind of set the tone that we want to be a physical football team. In order to do that, you got to pay your dividends in that weight room. That's also where all your hard work, your dedication, it's that sweat that, you're paying that price that when the fall comes, you've done what's necessary to help you win. Hats off to Coach Howard, done an amazing job down there, and it just helps when you got those veterans down there that are pushing each other. And we got a senior-laden team, so we should benefit from that.
All right, now let's take a look at the 2014 schedule right here. The defending Southland Conference champs open up the 2014 season on Saturday, August 30th, as they welcome in the Jacksonville Dolphins to Strawberry Stadium. Southeastern leads the all-time series against the Dolphins 3-0, having last defeated Jacksonville in 2006, 41-13. The Dolphins are coming off of a 5-6 record in 2013. Former Florida Gator All-American quarterback Kerwin Bell is in his 8th season as the Dolphins head coach. Right back to work the next week with another home game against the Southern Utah Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds are coming off an 8-5 season, which saw them make the NCAA playoffs. Ed Lamb enters his 7th season as Southern Utah's head coach. 16 starters and 39 lettermen return after the Big Sky Conference's team finished 5-3 and tied for 4th place. September the 13th finds the Lions hitting the road for their first contest away from the Berry, but the trip won't take too long as the Lions travel to New Orleans to face Tulane. The Green Wave will be playing their 2nd game in their new on-campus stadium. Second-year head coach Curtis Johnson welcomes back 15 starters and 48 lettermen from last year's 7-6 squad, which saw the Green Wave go 5-3 in Conference USA and earn a trip to the New Orleans Bowl. The 4th week of the season also finds Lion Nation on the road as Southeastern returns the home to Southeast Missouri. Last season, the Red Hawks came to Hammond in Week 1, and the Lions jumped on the visitors and didn't let up until the gun sounded with a 45-7 Lion win. The Red Hawks welcome in new head coach Tony Matakowicz. The Red Hawks return 17 starters and 27 lettermen off of last year's 3-9 team. The last week of September finds the Lions on the road as they open up Southland Conference play in San Antonio, Texas to face Incarnate Word. The Cardinals are the new kids on the block in the Southland Conference, and coach Larry Kinnan welcomes back 20 starters and 51 lettermen from last year's 6-5 team. The Cardinals will run a multiple offense and a 3-4 defense.
They were the best team we played last year, and I don't think it was even close. They were really good. They returned a lot of guys. It'll be a tremendous challenge for all of us just to try to stay in the game with them, besides beat them.
The first week of October finds the Lions welcoming in Northwestern State to Hammond. Last year, these two teams tangled at Northwestern. The Lions flexed their muscles at the start of the second half as Xavier Roberson took a kickoff 92 yards, and then the very next series, the Lions defense recorded a safety to put the game out of reach. The Demons are under second-year head coach Jay Thomas and returned 20 starters and 57 lettermen off of last year's 6-6 team.
You know, it was a great game. It was very competitive, and I think it was a game that really set them off, to the rest of the year. They had a great year. Coach Robertson's done a tremendous job with that program. Bennett played extremely well, the entire year, and so there's a reason why they're picked to be the favorite this year.
October the 11th finds the Lions on the road as they travel to Beaumont, Texas to face the Lamar Cardinals. Last year, the Cardinals came to Hammond only to leave with a 56-34 loss. Ray Woodard welcomes back 14 starters and 46 lettermen back from 2013. The Cardinals finished 5-7 overall and 2-5 in the conference.
The number one thing I remembered live, they were much more talented than they were on film. I think we played them so early. We kind of introduced them to the rest of the league. I don't think the rest of the league realized how good they were going to be. The good news for us, they went on to prove me right. I said that's the best offense we've seen, and they've certainly proved that.
The 8th week of the season finds the Lions back home in Strawberry Stadium as they welcome Central Arkansas to town. New coach and former Lions Steve Campbell brings his Bears to Hammond. The Bears are coming off of a 7-5 season and a 4-3 conference record. The Lions tamed the Bears 58-31 last year in Conway, but the Bears returned 19 starters and 53 lettermen.
Southeastern was my first time I moved away from home. I remember moving into Southeastern Hall, and that was my introduction to college football. My first snap, I went one-on-one against Willie Shepard, who was a All-American. That was my introduction to college football.
The final 4 games of the season finds the Lions away, then home for 2 before they close out the regular season on the road. October the 25th, the Lions travel to Stephen F. Austin for a bout with the Lumberjacks. Southeastern scorched SFA last year 56-14. The Lumberjacks are led by former Central Arkansas coach Clint Conque.
When you have a quality quarterback and you have quality quarterback play, you've got a chance. And with the weapons that are around Bennett, the physicality of both lines, they're tough out.
November the 8th, the Lions return home to face the Southland Conference newcomer, Houston Baptist. The Huskies are led by coach Vic Shealy and are coming off of a 3-4 first season. This will be the first meeting of the 2 schools, and kickoff is set for 3 p.m. and will be televised on the Southland Conference Television Network. November the 15th finds the Lions back home to take on conference rival McNeese State, and I believe everyone has this one circled on their schedule. Last year, the Lions and Cowboys squared off in Lake Charles, which on paper looked to be like a tight contest. But the games aren't played on paper. And from the opening possession, the Lions controlled the Cowboys and beat McNeese 41-7. The Cowboys finished 2013 10-3 and returned 16 starters and 53 lettermen from 2013. Coach Matt Viatar runs a multiple pro offense and a 4-2-5 defense.
They just did a great job last year. Coach Roberts did with his football team and the way they played, and to be able to stay consistent like they did, beat McNeese at McNeese, go to Conway, beat Central Arkansas, how they did it was really impressive.
The final week of the regular season finds the Lions traveling to Thibodaux to take on in-state rival Nicholls State. Last year in Hammond, the Colonels actually led 14-13 at halftime before watching the Lions walk away with the game in the second half, 52-27. The Colonels, led by Coach Charlie Stubbs, returns 12 starters and 44 lettermen from last year's 4-18. Coach, we'll take a look at the 2014 schedule, an action-packed schedule for our fans. 6 home games, 6 road games. But if you look at it, 2 of the road games are an hour away, so you have 8 games that are right here that you can attend.
Yeah, I think it's a very fan-friendly schedule. I'm excited about it. Again, the opportunity for our guys to play for a home crowd 6 times, and then obviously the Tulane and the Nicholls game being so close, it's going to be able to. Our guys will travel well, and I think that's a great schedule for our fans.
Coach, also for selection committee and playoffs, all Division I opponents. I know that's something you really wanted to do.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think we play in a tough Southland Conference, and our guys, again. We're going to step out and play some FBS opponents, and we're going to be able to play a couple FCS opponents out of conference play that I think it's going to give us a flavor and give us enough of a wide range to go out there and show what we're capable of doing on a national level.
Coach, one more question about the schedule is something that's gotten a lot of publicity in the offseason is the Southland Conference has expanded. You don't play everybody. I think our fans probably noticed that Sam Houston State is not on the schedule this year, even though we played them twice last year, including the playoffs. What's your take on that you don't play everyone in the Southland Conference this year?
I would much rather play everybody. It's just not going to work out that way when you got you got so many teams. So we added Abilene, you added the Incarnate Words now officially in, and you added Houston Baptist. And I hate to see somebody like Sam Houston go off our schedules. It was, I think, developing to a big rivalry, and obviously a team that we want to play because they're going to be up there in the top of the conference every year. So but we're going to play some great people. We're going to have a chance to play some great opponents and some great people coming to Strawberry Stadium.
All right, let's look at the 2014 schedule. Let's take our final break. We come back, we're going to take a look at the Lions' opponent for Week 1 as they take on Jacksonville. Right here on Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts, presented by Chick-fil-A of Hammond.
Introducing our new grilled chicken nuggets. Hungry for more? Go to grilledlove.com.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts, presented by Chick-fil-A in Hammond, and also Santa Fe Cattle Company as we come to you this week. As each and every week we're going to be somewhere different around Hammond Square. So I want to thank Sterling Properties and Hammond Square for being such sponsors and supporters of Coach Ron Roberts and his television show here in 2014. Well, Coach, this year there's a new era in the Southland Conference, as this year every home game in the Southland Conference will have instant replay, the only FCS league in the country to do that. Talk about your thoughts on that.
I'm excited about that. I think it speaks volumes for our conference, staying on the cutting edge, staying up front, being one of the leaders in FCS football across this country. And I'm excited also about having the instant replay. I mean, that's what you do it for. You call on the officials. I think our officials in general, they want to get the call right. Sometimes, obviously, by angles and timing and stuff, sometimes they make mistakes, like we do. And I think this gives us a chance to get as perfect as we can and get as pure as we can in college football. And I'm excited about where we're headed. All
right, Coach. Well, this Saturday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. The 2014 season opens. It's going to be against Jacksonville. They're a team out of the Pioneer League. They were 5-6 a year ago. A team that Southeastern squared off with a few years ago, with the Lions winning that football game. Tell us what you know about Jacksonville.
Well, Kerwin Bell is a coach, and he's done it. He's been there a while, and he's done a good job of leading the program. They traditionally, they're winning. They're successful. I know they've got some new faces in there this year. There's some turnover on their squad, which kind of leaves a door open for us. So we're not sure what to expect. We're going to have to make some adjustments early, and again, early on in the season, I firmly believe, but more so even later, is that it's really about you and executing and how well we can eliminate mistakes and getting ourselves ready. Because a lot of games are lost early season because of mistakes and miscues in special teams, miscues on assignments, offensively, defensively, blown coverages, things like that. But we're a veteran ball club. I don't expect us to make those mistakes. I want us to come out there and look as clean as we can.
College football is back. Saturday night, your Lions, their home opener. The tag has been the champs return, and they return this Saturday night, 7 o'clock against Jacksonville. We want to thank Santa Fe and all they've done for us here today, being our gracious host. They brought us out a death burger that Coach is going to dig into here in just a few moments. I want to thank Sterling Properties for also, as they have been a major supporter here of our television show, as well as Chick-fil-A of Hammond, the title sponsor here in 2014. For Coach Ron Roberts, I'm Alan Waddell. We'll see you next week.